How's it going, Virgo community? Soul Tigress here with a story for this wonderful community. Totally not sure what's going to come out, but I'll tell y'all what, the vibe in this frequency, I wouldn't call it mellow. It's definitely very tired. It's worn out. I had a good amount of energy before coming into this and setting up, but during the setup, I could just really feel that someone is just, they're feeling drained. They're feeling tired. I'm curious. Let's see what this is about. Now, I've already called in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, divine and universal energy as guides and protectors for this story, for the positive messages that are meant to come out. Now, I am unattached to any specific outcome when I go into these stories. The only thing I attach or I put my intentions into, again, is positive messages to come out. All right, y'all, thank you for your patience. Let's go ahead and get started. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Moonology is one of my favorite ones to start with when they're up on deck. So what is it that would like to come out for the Virgo community? Oh, let's see. We have one that lands face down, something that this energy doesn't see. What they're not seeing is expect a powerful change. New moon, eclipse. There's something that this Virgo is shifting within. Could it have to do with contracts or partnerships? Because I do know when I was going through the tarots and getting them ready, I did see a couple cards that were kind of indicating that. Powerful change. Whoa. All right. And the one that I seen the contracts with was the Dreams Within Dreams Tarot deck. So let's see what this one says. The end of a top cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. Ooh, there we go. So there's going to be light that's going to be shed. Shed onto what? A new cycle, something new coming about. Because when things end, it makes room for the new. And then what we have also that we don't see is believe in the impossible. And this is a blue moon. This is very fitting because a lot of people only associate Capricorn, and I myself was one of these people until I started learning about Capricorn. But a lot of people associate Capricorn with just the goat and without the fishtail. And I would like to highlight that a Capricorn sometimes may not know it, but they are able to swim through their emotions. They can be a very, very reserved sign. And if you think about the season that they help bring in is winter, there's a lot of stillness in winter. A lot of things that aren't growing depending on where you're at. It's usually the time like for rest, for coming up with a plan for the new season to come. All right, so I wonder if this has to do with emotions now. Let's go ahead and ask for a few more cards. What else would like to come out? Spirit guides and angels. All right, here we go. Nothing is set in stone. Mutable moon. And mutable energy, Virgo, you're a part of this, helps bring the end of cycles in. Nothing's set in stone. Whatever it is that really has this Virgo tossing and turning in the emotions. Wow. Virgo, in this story, listen up. Your ancestors are speaking to you. You are good enough. And this is a full moon in Virgo. You see how the camera's having a hard time focusing? I feel like the Virgo in this story is having a hard time focusing on their worth and really seeing it in the full light, in the full bloom that it is in. Virgo represents also a little bit of wealth because it's associated with harvest. Because I just learned this. The sun is in Virgo when it's usually the harvest season. So don't mistake your wealth for something else. A lot of people only think that wealth is built in the materials that you put on or around. No, that's one kind of wealth. That's that 3D in this kind of physical, what I can see, what I can touch with this vessel wealth. But there are ways that you can build wealth that's not seen but felt. It's not seen, but it's emanated. And we see those type of people, they're getting rarer and rarer due to social media and a lot of outside influences. A lot of people do not feel like they're good enough. And it's because we are surrounded by subliminal messages. And now I see why I was watching what I was watching yesterday. We are surrounded by subliminal messages that tell you you are not good enough. Your weight, your body, your hair type, what you wear, your skin, your smile, your eyes, your eyelashes, your freaking eyebrows. In society, it's all depicted that all of these things that are on us, that are a part of us, is not good enough. That if it doesn't look a certain way, it's not good enough. It's not beautiful enough. It's not ideal. And it's hard to navigate through that every day and feel like you are good enough when you have so much telling you that you are not. Give yourself a pat on the back for making it to this channel, making it to this video, because you're here for a reason, and that reason is to receive again this message. You are good enough. And whatever those emotions are running up in you, trying to tell you, trying to, get stuff confused, it doesn't have to be that way. Your emotions can change toward yourself, toward situations. It all depends on where we're at in our life. Let's go one more card because I'm hearing let's move it, move it. All right, can I get one more card for the Virgo community? All right. It said 2 cards. Woo! And these 2 cards land on believe in the impossible and nothing is set in stone. All right, and would you know it? I have A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Whatever's coming, it's coming head on. It's coming head on. Or maybe this Virgo has to head out head on. Climb the cliffs, metaphorically, emotional cliffs, grounding cliffs, cliffs to get to a better place. Because both the ram and the goat are great climbers. They have really good agility. They get to places other animals can't. Take time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out. Have you ever noticed when your emotions are running high, it's really hard to focus. It's really hard to get that clarity of thought. As everything is building up, make sure to take those deep breaths. Breathe out. Take little breaks as you need them. Oh, and this is a decimating moon. Huh. All right, so let's go ahead and get moving forward here with the tarot. So what is it that is in the present for this Virgo community? What is it about this powerful change that comes their way? That's a lot of stuff we're not seeing. We got two cards here, both land and believe in the impossible. I have a Four of Wands in reverse. And I have the Page of Wands in reverse. Getting to the place that you want to go just requires, it requires, I feel like, a reigniting of passions. Right now, what this says is the passions have been put out. It makes sense. Okay, so let's do this again. I didn't like how that went. So what I'm seeing in this cards right here, wands, passions, foundation. And what I get with the believe impossible that these land on is the passionate energy has been drained or is feeling drained from Virgo in particular. They're not going up in the direction. It almost feels like they are not diving, not gliding, and I wouldn't say falling, descending. Their energy and even their spirit, it just feels like it's descending. Is there something that they have given up that was tied to their passions? Sometimes when we lose passion for life, we can run into not only mucky waters, but dark places within that we don't know how to get out of. And for me, that's a dark hole, is what I use to represent my dark places that I get stuck in sometimes. All right, something else that we don't see is the Empress. And she lands under the take time to breathe out, and a fiery climax approaches. And she's not all the way and upright. Oh, I should say they are not all the way and upright. Empress is a fertile energy as well. And this Empress here is taking care of somebody, has made it their job to take care of another. I feel like it's what really fires their passions up. Can I get a clarity card for this Empress? Clarity card. All right, and what pops out is the Seven of Cups. And again, it lands on the fiery climax approaches. Whoever it is that they're taking care of, it's something that they have tied their emotional success to. Or it could be their validation of self. We will have people who feel needed if they have to take care of somebody, and that's their passion. There are some people who are natural servers. And I'm not talking about like just bartenders, waitresses. A natural serving energy for me is one that likes to help. Not everybody has the abilities to do everything for themselves. Some people need help with small tasks, medium tasks, big tasks. It just all depends on the individual. I am a person with a natural servant's heart. I really, really love to make people feel better. I even have tailored the way that I give my services to making sure I engage in the flow of the body and how, what you would say, the dopamine levels arise. But for me, it's helping the, not only the body, but the spirit actually come to a place where they can rest, come to a place where they are allowed to let themselves start to recover. And what I feel is this Virgo's passion. It doesn't have to be in that same sense, but there is a passion for helping others. Now, how this has to do with the climax so far, I'm not sure. What I hear is there could be a sense of being burnt out. All right. What else would like to come out for the Virgo community? And I get a Four of Swords in reverse under the Seven of Cups. Whatever this Virgo is dealing with, I feel like it's too much on their plate. Whatever this situation is, it's really putting a lot on their plate. Virgo has to play many parts to this situation. They're overly dependent on. That's what I'm feeling. And what we don't see is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse as I talk about that stuff. 9 of Coins and upright. And another one we don't see is the Emperor in reverse. What I'm hearing is I've been promised one thing, but it's turning into something else. And what I heard was ghosts of the past. I think we're going to get more into that one with the block, but I'm curious. Whoever this Emperor is really has themselves encased in bitterness, encased in sharpness. There we are. Yeah. And then I have the 8 of Swords that, as you see, fell onto the top of all this. And it's going into a side position there. This Emperor has also encased this Virgo. And the Emperor is represented by Aries. So this person, this situation is very headstrong. It's too headstrong. And what I get is the image of Virgo just trying to get out of the way of it. If stuff's flying at them, this Virgo retreats. They don't fight back. There's no point. They don't see a point because they don't see this person getting it. Yeah. Because if you look at this dragon, their eyes are covered. They can't see how to get out. And I'm focused on the blue. It's like somehow they end up emotionally trapped. I know this is more of an air sign kind of card, but this is emotionally trapped. And if I look at some of my references, the 8s represent mutable energy. And for this card itself, it would represent Gemini. And Gemini see through 2 different sides, 2 different sides of a coin. It would almost be the dark and the light side. But that's when that energy is balanced. When it starts to go unbalanced, that's when they only start seeing from one side of the coin. And for some reason, this Virgo is very swayed to one side. What I heard is something they have been fed. Whatever that means, something that they have been fed, and it goes into the thoughts. Ooh, I have not had this card pop up. Wow. okay, this is the first time I'm seeing it in the story so far. This is neat. Death. And underneath death is the Nine of Wands in reverse. A transformation has to happen. In order to get what this Virgo wants. What does this Virgo want though? Is it time? Is it more time to do what they want to do? Maybe it has to do within their home. Could it be starting a family? Could it be, it's some kind of fertility. Some kind of fertility. And right now, because the passions are low, it's that burnt out energy. Whatever it is that brings on that fertility, I think it's geared with the passions. I want one more card. Can I get a clarity card for the death? There it is. And what I have is a Queen of Swords who comes out in reverse, and she lands on the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Eight of Swords. Isn't the artwork in all this pretty neat? All right, let's get back to the story. This Emperor, whoever this other energy is, they do the most not to look at what they do. They do the most not to acknowledge what they do. How they come in, and they come in a negative way. Very negative way. But what I don't understand is, what is the attachment here to this energy? It's one, because it's tied to, I want to say, a purpose. And that purpose is this Virgo being able to help others. That is what fills their cups. That's what makes them feel like they are really gaining. They are being able to pour in their cups because they're helping other people. Let me help you pour in your cups. Let me help you, make you feel good and stuff. That's hard. Sometimes you can overly do it. I'm wondering if that's what's happening. Because if you get into an environment that sees how driven you are, how ambitious you are, and it's a toxic environment, oh man, they will take full advantage of your ambition, your compassion, your drive, if they're not on the same level. And for some people, that's how they get their energy boost. They're like, what is that? Succubus? Is that the right word? It's almost being near them and having them push your buttons on purpose just to see you react, just to see that they hit some kind of nerve, even if it's the smallest little movement, little tense up. They sense it and it feeds them. You have to be careful. You have to be careful. I would say, and this is my personal opinion, ain't no guide spitting this out or telling me to say this, but my personal opinion is nope, 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 nope. Sometimes we learn a little bit later in life, if we're lucky, that there's certain energies that we can work good and bloom with whatever our passion is. If we're working for a career, for a hobby, for whatever that drive is, if it's family driven. But when you have somebody start putting you in a box, start caging you in, start poking at you and poking at you just for you to react so that they can take your power, eventually you're going to be drained. You're going to start questioning why you're doing what you're doing. And every day you're going to notice that you're starting to take care of yourself less. And you're having less energy. And I feel like that is what's happening here. This energy has beaten up the Virgo so much, emotionally, mentally, to the point again where they're burnt out. But why does Virgo stick around? What is it? It can't be just the passions for what their purpose is, because they can go and take their alignment and align with something else. Usually there is some kind of attachment. All right. So let's find out what's going on. What is it, Virgo community? Oops. What is in the block? Oh, here we go. So far, we're starting off with the Ten of Swords. Falling onto sharp thoughts. Sharp thoughts, and then I had it land on a Seven of Wands. Let's see if you can see that 7 there. What I hear is Puppet Master. That's what I noticed with this 7 of Wands. So you get that up there in the Wands and you start seeing conflict. And what I see here is whoever this Puppet Master is in this block, they really use a mental kind of warfare on this Virgo. There we are. And then I have a 4 of Coins. And I have not seen this card yet come out. Wow. Wow. Give me a second. I really want to look at this. This Puppet Master keeps Virgo on this string because of traditions. Being surrounded with the old ways. You don't know this. I always have stones and I always move stones around. There's 2 candles that are directly behind this camera. And for one reading, I had my skeleton behind, and that represented skeletons in the closet. For another reading, what did I have? There was something else behind it. And what came out in the story was represented, again, what was back here. And to me, that's what's in the closet, what's holding us back. That's a barrier. And for here, this time, I had a dinosaur, and there's a rose quartz back there as well. Virgo in this story has a love for traditions as well, fulfilling the old ways in a sense. That means that one saying, what is that? Blood is thicker than water. If you know what that saying means, then you know the power of that, especially if you have people who are acting out. But again, you're being told over and over that blood is thicker than water. And what that did is, for me, that forces a person to be loyal to certain things. And no matter what those certain things do, again, they're bound to it. I've had few friends who treat me better than family. And for some reason, I do reflect on that saying, blood is thicker than water. And whatever the old traditions are, I feel like it's something in that spectrum. Whatever it is. It could be, if I was to take it to a workplace, it would be the ideas of being at a job for 20 years plus. Because that's what a few generations were taught to do, is that you just put in the time. You put in the time and you deal with it. And you just stick with that company so you could retire out. There's something that is, again, with old traditions here. And that's what's manipulating this Virgo. This is how this Virgo ends up getting those sharp thoughts that they're falling onto. I try and say it in a sense to where I'm not hurting anybody with my words. One thing that I was taught is that we all view life through different lenses, and those lenses are through experiences. What could really mean nothing to somebody could mean a world of things to another person. So I always thank everyone for their patience with me, as sometimes I fumble or switch up the words that I'm trying to use. All right, let's see what else needs to come out for the block in this story. And then I have a Queen of Coins. This Queen of Coins lands on the Four of Coins, lands on the Seven of Wands, and the Emperor in reverse. And she's really looking at that Emperor. She really thought, or they really thought, that if they brought in this bountifulness, remember we were talking about wealth, could be in a lot of different areas besides just materials. It could be a wealth of love, a wealth of honor, a wealth of respect, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of being able to teach others. This Virgo had a wealth that they wanted to share, and they felt like this wealth was going to really help. This puppet master, they thought that bringing in this wealth to those traditions was going to bring on brighter days. What else would like to come out for the block? And what we have that we don't see land on the Empress, Two of Cups in side position. I'm feeling like this is still referring to time is spent here. And this Virgo hasn't realized it, that they got to let this relationship cycle through. You got to dump the cups out from this relationship, this situation, whoever else that they're dealing with, whoever else is really centered on depending on them. They really see this person it's different. They see this person, they really try and see this person in the possibilities of the growth that they can get them to have. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, oh my gosh, I do all these noises and I make this because it has to do with seeing the potential. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We, I'm, I'm pretty sure a lot of us who have been adulting for a while, even some of us who haven't been adulting for a while, we can speak on some experiences where we've seen great potential. Where if we just got that certain situation and just was able to smooth out the creases just a little bit more, show it how to smooth out the creases, things would be marvelous. But what happens when we face the reality is that we've seen the potential this person never wanted to see. We're faced with the reality of a cycle that we keep chasing this potential. And does it always work out? None of my relationships where I was chasing the potential did. I'll be for real right there. If you're chasing potential of something that you see in somebody else and that person doesn't see in them, that's going to break you down over time. That's really hard because that person is not on a level that you are on. And again, this person is not very nice. They're coming in as the Emperor in reverse. What was the other one? Where'd she go? Where did she go? Give me a second. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. I'm holding her right in my hand. Mm-hmm. And what I have land on the Queen of Swords, the Wheel, and the Eight of Swords. Look at that. The Three of Swords. Talking about that potential and look at what comes out. Don't you go blaming yourself. Stop it. You're human. You're allowed to make mistakes. We're going to learn from this lesson. We are going to learn from this lesson. All right? Takes time. Some of us are not always ready right away. But this Three of Swords is saying this is that potential. This is not being truthful with what this energy is doing, how it affects this Wheel of Fortune, your Wheel of Fortune, your transformation, your alignment with where you want to go. All right, I'm hearing to call out a few more cards. We got to get moving and a grooving. All right. Another thing that's a part of this block, and now we have a Queen of Wands that comes out. She lands onto that Queen of Swords, the Death, Nine of Wands, Four of Wands. Here she is. Let's see if I can get it to focus better. There we are. This situation has Virgo irritable. Very irritable. Makes sense, you're burnt out. You are burnt out. But you have to be careful because birds of a feather will flock together. Remember, if this energy, the situation is siphoning your energy, that means you're absorbing theirs. You are absorbing theirs, especially if you're really taking what they're telling you during the day home with you. That's them. That's you absorbing them right there, that vibration. All right, last card. And this is what we don't see, and it lands on the Four of Swords. This is a page of coins. This situation, I feel like, capitalizes on Virgo and making them feel like they're a novice, like they don't know better. They don't know what's right from wrong. And you will get situations. Okay, let me start over because this is frustrating as all get out. You will get energies out there. Narcissistic energy is a great example. A narcissistic energy will not look at what they're doing wrong, will not acknowledge what they are doing wrong. What they will acknowledge is how you did something that caused them to act how they did. There is no time that a narcissist will feel like somebody else is right. A narcissist will show up when they know that you're upset with them. Because remember, they're siphoning your energy. You make them feel good. They don't make themselves feel good. You do. So when they feel like they're going to lose you, they're going to show up and they're going to talk the talk. They're going to say everything and anything that's going to make you believe in that potential again. But guess what? Not even 24 hours later, it goes back to the same thing. But a person who cares a lot, a person who wants to believe that this other person they care about, this other situation is going to move forward, is not going to give up so easily. So when they have the situation come in, tell them or show them that potential they look for, again, they're being capitalized on. You just got put back in that narcissist cage. That is a very hard cycle to get out of. I would say that is one of the hardest cycles to get out of, especially if you've had one who's been doing it for years, one that is comfortable with their behavior. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter whatever this is on the outside. That is just the way that individual operates. No amount of money will discriminate against a person, and say, oh, they got this amount of money. There's no way in hell they can act that way. No. Even people with money act this way. People without money act this way. This kind of behavior, narcissistic behavior, it doesn't know any kind of boundary. There's not one person out there who is unsusceptible to this kind of behavior. The people who don't emanate that kind of behavior are people who care about others, are people who think about others, who put others first. All right? That's going to be a great way to distinguish what kind of energy you're dealing with. You'll get little clues about a narcissist, but you have to really look for them. They're not going to show up right away. I look at how people
talk, how they talk about others, if they talk about others, how they treat others. I also like to see where they put themselves on their social or ego level. With those kind of observations, I can tell how much somebody is really into themselves, how high they have themselves up, or how big their head is about themselves. And there's certain behaviors that I avoid. And one of them is somebody who blames others for their problems. Now, that whole last bit is just personal experiences and a personal view. I always recommend that everybody uses their own free will and their own judgment with their free will. And also to always outsource when it comes to dealing with certain cycles of energy that you've been facing. Because if this is something that somebody has faced over and over and over, this Virgo in this community, in this story, should probably seek out counseling or seek out a mentor. One of a person who is of sound mind and who has rational judgment, who can see two sides of a coin. Not somebody who's in the same frequency as this other people. We have friends at different levels. We know how to go to certain friends for certain advice. All right, I'm being told to end that spiel. That's a big one. And let's start by seeing what this block needs with the Unicorn Oracle cards being utilized. Angels of protection, divine and universal energy. What is it that can help this Virgo in this story dealing with this situation? What is it that they can use to help them overcome this barrier, this hurdle? This is very fitting. And it lands on the Four of Wands, the Page of Wands, believe in the impossible, and nothing is set in stone. Healer, you have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. I'm hearing something say, don't let somebody drain your passions away. What else would like to come out? Okay. So I have this land on the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Hope. Stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light. What I'm hearing is don't focus on them and what they say. Focus on your purpose. Focus on that higher up calling that you have to move past this, to get to where you need to go. And I have this line on the thick of it all. Again, the Death, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Swords, Nine of Coins, the Wheel in reverse. Prosperity. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. If you're worried about that this is the only thing for you, this is the only situation for you, it's not. There's more out there. Is you have to keep believing. But there's a lesson here with this situation. And the situation could have to do with partnership. Teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support team. If you already have a talented support team, such as family, maybe it's time to go hang out with them. If you have some friends out there, maybe it's time to go hang out with them. Spend a day away from the burdens of this situation. Because you can have a day off, but we could still have the burdens of work on our shoulders. Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. I feel like that's a positive affirmation right there. Just for today, I will be gentle with myself and others. And then taking a deep breath. And repeating that positive affirmation 2 more times. And what you do with that affirmation is you take it and you tuck it into one of your pockets. If you can't tuck it into a pocket, then visualize yourself tuck it into your throat chakra. And when you start to feel in here start to cringe or cringe up because of this other energy's output and them pushing at your buttons and trying to get you to react, that's when you're going to incorporate that positive affirmation. You would take a deep breath and say your positive affirmation. Just for today, I will be gentle with myself and others. And it is important that you do repeat it 2 more times, a total of 3. Getting that oxygen circulating into that blood is going to help bring some clarity of thought. And it's also going to ground yourself in that moment. Instead of putting you up in your thoughts, it's going to help keep you down here. And you're going to be able to navigate that. A lot of times somebody who's trying to pick at you and pick at you and pick at you and pick at you is trying to make you feel how they really feel inside. So what happens when you ignore the child that's doing that? When you don't feed into that behavior? Well, they get bored. Because your gentleness is going to make them uncomfortable. All right. Let's go ahead and ask for one more card. One more card for this community. What is it for the last message for the Virgo community? What is it that needs to come out? And it's actually 3 cards. Yay, you get 2 bonuses. And it lands on the healer, hope, prosperity. Touches on a little bit of that gentleness. And I feel like this is how we're going to overcome this other energy. Compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Well, what is it that this potential has light in them? Boo-boos, they're building up your resilience. If you can learn how to deal with this type of situation, you're going to know how to deal with a whole lot of other stuff, and it's going to be a breeze. A lot of people forget that we have to build up resilience in order to learn how to be grounded in different type of situations. Action. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. Be that gentle person, that caring person, that compassionate person that you want to be. Don't let anybody take that passion from you. Awareness. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. I have a perfect example right here. We're going to sidetrack before I end it. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, I had a moment. I have 2 teenagers. Lovely teenagers. Wonderful teenagers. My guiding life lesson teenagers. And I was having a moment, and I was having a Queens of Wands kind of expression of energy. Just really forward, really just passionate about what I was upset with. And I kid you not, in that exact moment, I had a hummingbird. And it went to the feeder that I have out there. You don't know it, but there's a flower bush on this other side. And the hummingbirds really like that. And they had like this feeder that I put out there. And I hadn't seen a hummingbird go to that feeder yet. And I've just been watching it and waiting and waiting. And for some reason, at that moment in my output that I was having, a hummingbird showed up. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. I stopped. That was my sign that yes, things are hectic. You feel like you are doing so much. You're going here, you're going there, you're going here, you're going there. But you are still getting stuff done. The movement that you are needing is still happening, no matter how fast you think that you're going, and you don't think that you're catching up. You're there. And things that you've been putting yourself towards are working. And those are how little signs can come in. It could be just the smallest thing. But if it makes you stop and look at it twice, it's most likely some kind of sign, some kind of omen. And you really got to check into yourself. Check into your thoughts. Check into how you feel. Check into the momentum of your day right then and there. All right, Virgo community. Thank you for your patience, as I don't know when that mic turned itself off. but I'm willing to work with it and accept life as it flows at me today. Now, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day.